Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Irish Uncensored. I'm here as always with my buddy Grant. How you doing, man?
I think you know the answer to that question.
Yeah. After yesterday, I don't even know what to say. I do know what to say. I have a lot to say. We have a lot to say.
We
So we
do.
usually break it down by quarter, or I don't even know what we're going to do today. We're just going to talk about the game. We're going to talk about our thoughts on coaching. We're going to talk about our thoughts on play, who should be in the game, just everything. You guys know how it goes. And we'd love to hear your comments. Please like and subscribe. It helps us out, and you'll be able to see our future videos and future thoughts. So, all right, Grant, why don't you start us off?
Oh, where do I begin? Okay,
Well, let's start at the
so
beginning.
okay. Um, we all knew that if Cohn was healthy, he was going to be the guy because that's just
I
Brian
was
Kelly,
thinking the beginning of the game.
huh?
Beginning of the game.
Yeah, sure. Like I
Yeah.
said, we knew Cohn was going to be the guy. He came out. Um, he had a solid first drive all the way down the field. We're moving the ball. We converted a huge 4th and 10. We get in the red zone. I'm loving it, right? To this point, I'm like, wow, we're really moving the ball. We came out, we're being creative. And our 5th-year senior quarterback makes an absolute high school esque mistake.
Yep.
Cost us at least 3 points, I would say.
Yeah, because we were already in field goal range.
Yep.
I mean, if anything, momentum. Let's say no, we missed the extra, like the field goal, still momentum, like detrimental. And then we stop them.
Yep.
We get the ball back. I mean, our defense came to play again against the Cincinnati team. I mean, we'll get into it as we go, but they did almost nothing against us. Well, we'll have to get into that as we go. So what happened next, Grant?
So we stop him. We go, Cone gets the ball back, does nothing with it. Then we stop him again. Then we get the ball back and we roll out Buckner for his first possession. He doesn't do shit. Then we stop him again, and then and then Buckner gets his second possession, and that sets up the first Cincinnati touchdown because
Yeah, they
Michael
got the ball
Harvey got
on the five
absolutely
yard line.
murdered, and Buckner got. I mean, I legit don't even think he saw it coming because he cut back
Mhm.
inside and just.
No, he was like outside to his left, and then like right as he stepped into his throw, he like cut across his buddy and hit him.
Yep. So
I
he
don't
got.
even know how that can happen.
Yeah.
Just
I don't.
terrible blocking. The guy got thrown off the block. Our
Yeah.
guy.
It was pretty pathetic. And so Buckner gets smoked. He throws a pick. They run it back. They eventually score on like a 3rd and goal, mind you, because our defense stuffed them a couple times.
Yep.
A little pop pass to the tight end just leaked out in like a goal line formation. They're up 7. Then Chris Tyree botches the
Oh,
kickoff.
that's the muff. Yep.
There's the muff. So that's our 3rd turnover in the first 19 minutes of the game. And our defense, true as can be, holds them to 3.
Yeah. I
Now
mean,
we're
so we've given up a touchdown with them having the ball on like the 10 yard line,
yep.
and we got almost stopped them. It was
Mhm.
like third down, and they had to do a pop pass, which I mean, they scored, whatever. That's still great defense. Like, what are we gonna do?
Right.
And then we hold them to 3 when they get the ball on like the 20. Oh my god, so fucking
Yep.
frustrating. I can't even handle today. So yeah, keep going.
Yeah. So 10-0 at that point. We are back with Cone, and we just continue to not do shit um, with the ball for pretty much the rest of the half. And
Yep.
then right before halftime, they end up putting an actual. Was it before halftime that they had 17? Yeah, it was before halftime.
Yeah, they had 17.
So they actually put like a decent drive together and scored a touchdown.
Yep.
There's a couple plays Clarence Lewis got absolutely torched by
Couple
Pierce.
couple really nice throws too.
Yeah, Ritter. I mean, we'll talk about it more later, but I mean,
Yeah.
he made plays when it mattered, and that's really all you can expect.
Yeah.
So then we go into halftime. I'm way more emotional in the moment Notre Dame fan than Tyler is. Tyler's usually the one who brings me back to reality because at this point I'm screaming, "Get
Grant,
Cone out of the fucking game!" And he's like, "Well, it's not all his fault." I was like, "I know it's not his fault, but our O line isn't good enough to have some Peyton Manning statue back there who can't throw like Peyton Manning. You got
yeah,
to have somebody more mobile." I'm like, "We have to see Pine. We have to."
yeah.
So
I don't even think it hasn't like. I don't know what the percentage is. Like a third of the percent, it might be Cohn's fault. The rest is like the O line and coaching.
yes, I mean
The
100%. I honestly don't think that a lot of it, maybe not even a third, is Cone's fault. I just think that he doesn't have the skill set to be successful in an offense where you don't have an offensive line.
Yeah, and it's easy to say like, oh, coaching. Well, there's a lot of things that go into coaching. I guess we're gonna talk about this a little bit right now, but I think it's decision making too. It's like I have always been a huge advocate for Brian Kelly, and I still am. Even
Yep,
after this game, like Brian Kelly is our coach. I'm not like Brian Kelly's my coach, so I'm gonna be all over him forever. I like to be. I like to think about what's in front of me. He's a great coach, and he's done a great job with our program.
yep,
That being said, I think he made a terrible decision, and it was a blind decision to go with a fifth-year transfer, no
yep,
matter what he has seen before.
yep,
I'm not saying Drew Pine showed that he's the clear starter, but I think Cone has shown that he's not.
yeah. I
And
mean,
whether that's Cone's fault or not, like I don't think it's fully his fault, but he's shown that he's not the guy. And to come out against the top 10 school and just be like, he's the starter, that's it. Like we've already seen it. And then after the first drive, we saw it again. Like he made a bad decision after making a decent drive. Keep in mind, the first drive of the game is usually scripted.
yeah,
So that's good. Too bad after that first drive, he looked like shit, really. Like
yep,
whether it was his fault or not. I think you have to recognize it and make the decision. And
yep,
because of that, you wait on this decision, and now we have a loss. We were in the game when we brought Pine back in, but it was too late. If we
yep,
make this decision to start the game or early in the game, maybe we make mistakes and we come out with a win and we learn from it and a win. But
yep,
now we get to learn from it and have fucking Pine as our starting quarterback, be our fucking quarterback for the rest of the fucking season. And here we are, we got to lose because of fucking stupid decision making, and now we're out of the playoff.
yep. It's done because our schedule has turned out to be extremely weak. What looked really promising in the beginning has turned into teams that have lost a ton of games, and even if we run the table, we're not making the playoff.
It pisses
So
me off so much because here we were in position to do something and make a decision and change our entire trajectory of our season. And now we get to learn that lesson in a loss and then roll out a quarterback, and it does it even matter now? Like
yeah,
we're Notre Dame. Guess what? We're not playing in the Big Ten championship this year or next
right.
year or the following year. We're playing for the fucking national championship or nothing.
Yep.
Like it's great winning the fucking uh, Tostitos Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl, but that doesn't mean anything.
No, ultimately it doesn't mean shit. And I mean, you're right. And we'll talk more about some of the coaching decisions that have been made or not made or what they're doing because it seems like not shit. But I mean, we opened the second half, and Cincinnati moves the ball right down the field, and thank God they miss a field goal. So we're like, okay, and sure as shit, here comes Drew Pine. And Drew Pine, we're moving the ball. We got Drew in. He's looking exactly how he looked playing against Wisconsin. And we're moving the ball. We get to a fourth, and I think it was like 8-ish. And we go for it. And Braden Lindsey, the senior, I don't know whose fault it was, but based on Brian Kelly, how Brian Kelly was talking to Lindsey, I think it was Lindsey's fault. He
Yeah,
ran the wrong route, and
he
where Drew threw
ran.
the ball is where Lindsey should have been, and it would have been a first down.
It was a perfect pass too. And like I said to Grant, here's the other part of the decision making. I said this during the game, so this is not a post thought. This is not a me being an armchair quarterback. This is me being a former coach, and I think a good one. You make these decisions early, so Pine gets the fucking snaps So shit like that doesn't fucking happen.
Yep.
Because here we are now. How many snaps do you think fucking Pine took this week? Because Buckner probably took more than Pine.
Yeah, I mean, he probably was in the under. He was under 50% hands down. I'd probably say under 70% of the snaps.
Yeah.
He probably took like maybe 25%, maybe less.
Yeah. I mean, you think Cone took 50 and Buckner took 25? I'm thinking Cone took more than 50%. And
I agree. I'm trying to not
but that's what. So the bottom line is he hasn't had enough experience, and Pine is still out here looking pretty damn good with no experience.
He's just out there playing.
He's out there, yeah, exactly. He's backyard football in it.
Yep,
and looking pretty good. Imagine if he actually got the time to put the reps and practice in. Like, this is a decision. This is a coaching decision.
Yep, exactly. And so Pine's moving it. Lindsey runs the wrong route. They punt. We punt, or no, we turn it over on downs, and they move the ball again. But we end up stopping them. Or was no? We got this is where we got the sack, right?
Oh yeah, we sacked them. Sack fumble. We got the ball on like the 30 or something.
And I'm sitting there telling Tyler, we've got to have something. We got to have something. It was probably like 2 plays later. Foskey sacks him. Drew White picks up the fumble. And what do you know? Pine comes in, and we move right down the field, and we get a nice touchdown from Kyron. And now we're sitting at 17-7. And this is what pisses me off, Tyler, because everyone's like, wow, look at Cincinnati. They're so good. They did they're just so amazing. Did you see how pussy they played in the freaking third quarter? They came out trying to kill the clock from the rip.
Yep.
They were literally trying to run. They were taking the play clock down to 5 seconds off a 40-second play clock every single play. They were trying to run out the clock, and we were starting to. They played so bitch. If we don't have some of the mistakes in the first half, if we
they had 2 good drives, and they, besides their D line, because we make their D line, every D line we face, look like All-Americans. All of them. Everyone we face is going to be on the All-American team, apparently, because we fucking suck on the line. I don't know what it is, coaching, whatever. I don't know what that is, so I can't blame anybody, but it's terrible.
We'll get to that one. But so we get down, we get a touchdown with Kyron. They come down. I think they drove it decent again. They missed another field goal, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, they did.
And we take the ball down the field, and Pine throws a pretty dime pass. And I'll give Braden Lindsey credit. He made an incredible catch as well. He positioned himself really well. And we're sitting here 17-13. And just to cap off our dog shit day, our senior kicker misses an extra point. Yeah. So instead of being down 17-14, it's 17-13.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, we're only down one possession, 1 touchdown. We're in this game. And keep in mind, we've given them 10. They have 1 legit touchdown. So if we're talking about them offensively, it should be 13-7 right now.
Yeah, I'd say. I mean, it's not even the fact of like the turnovers; it's where they were. So, at this point, like, our defense has been out there. Ritter, as much as I think he's a fucking tool bag, just if you saw his post game antics, you probably agree. But he made throws, he made plays.
Yep. He didn't even have to make that many. The worst part is we got to make it easy on him. Because they started on our side of the fucking 50 every time. Like, he had 2 good drives that, like, went down the field. 2 good drives should not win you a game ever. Ever.
Nope.
And we have a great punter, by the way. Going 3 and out is not the worst thing because he fucking launches the ball. Stop turning the damn ball over.
Yep. And so they end up going down. They score a touchdown. And at this point, it's just over with. We're just chucking the ball around. They're playing a super prevent. Kevin Austin, flat out, is not as good as everyone thinks that he is.
He can't catch the ball.
He drops the ball all the time. I know he was going up against Sauce, so I didn't expect him to do a ton today. But holy fucking shit, man. When we're going down the field and we're moving in with Tyler Buckner and he hits him, Pine. I'm sorry. Yeah. We're going down the field with Pine and he's scrambling. Tyler, he was scrambling for his life and he threw back and there's a wide open Kevin Austin in the middle of the field and it hits him in both of his hands.
Yep.
He drops it and we're like, You have to catch that ball.
At this point in the game, like we were down 2 possessions, but there was enough time to make something happen. Like
Yep.
I'm not saying it was gonna be easy, but it could have happened.
Yep. And
And yeah,
it's so fucking frustrating because you know what? If we're gonna like going into this season, I'm looking at our schedule. It looked a lot tougher in the beginning, and I'm like, we can do something with this. We'll see how it goes. And as we get in, I think what is frustrating is because I didn't think we're going to run the table to begin the year. I did not think that at all. But I did think that, we could win a lot of the games. A lot of the games were winnable. I could only see a few of them being potential losses. And then we get into the season, and the people we thought were that good weren't that good. And we were sitting in Cincinnati. We were sitting in our last hardest game of the year.
yeah.
And if we win this, we damn near could have run the table. And it's not so much that we lost it; it's how we lost it. We literally just handed them the game, made them look like freaking not even superstars. They didn't
They
do
did.
shit.
They didn't do anything. Like they had a couple good drives, and their defensive line had a good game. What
Yep.
else happened? Their picks were lollipops.
Yep.
They didn't
Easy
do
pick of their
shit.
career.
Like they did not win this game. We lost it.
Yes.
We lost the game. I mean, that's frustrating. If I was a Notre Dame player or coach, I would be pissed
Yep.
because when you get beat, that sucks. When you beat yourself, pathetic.
Yeah.
That can be stopped.
Yeah. And here's the thing. We're in year 12 of Kelly, and I mean, I don't even care whatever with Kelly. It's fine. I'm not calling for his head or anything like that. I'm not doing that. Jeff Quinn, the offensive line coach, I know he's not going to be fired in the middle of the season. He should be fired at the end of the season. And this is kind of leading into our next thing because we've seen some stuff online about some people like, oh, you guys are this and that kind of fans, realist fans, and yeah, you guys just hop off the bandwagon. You are allowed to have expectations for your program that you are a fan of. You are allowed to have expectations. You are allowed to have thoughts. You are allowed to have opinions, and you are allowed to voice those. That's the point that we started Irish Uncensored,
Yep.
and formerly known as We Are Notre Dame Uncensored all those years ago, is to voice your opinion and voice it freely, because we don't need people saying, oh, well, if you think you could do a better job, why don't you go apply to be a coach at Notre Dame? Fuck off. Fuck off, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty pathetic. I mean, the bottom line is, I know for a fact that wouldn't be as good of a Notre Dame coach, but I also know for a fact that I would have made a better decision than that was made this past weekend.
And we're sitting here playing, and our O line, like we lost 4 starters. Okay. Luggs had experience. He looked like dog water for most of the game. We bring in a grad transfer who's supposed to be something. He's looked like ass all season. We slid our undersized center over to guard. He's been kind of meh. And then we've gone through, Joe Alt was playing at the end of the game, Tyler. That is our 4th left tackle.
Yep.
That is our 4th left tackle. But here's how you know Quinn is ass. The other 4 positions have been the same the whole year. It's been Patterson at center, Corell at left, Madden at right, and Lugg at right tackle. And every now and then they'll throw Andrew Kristofic in at right guard to rotate around with those guys. Why can't we put it together? Why? It's the 5th game of the year. Like this is the thing. You had all that information the whole summer, the whole fall. You knew. You worked on it in fall camp. You worked on it. And every week I'm listening to different pods, and they're talking about how our O-line is getting just manhandled by our D-line. And they're like, well, I hope our D-line is just that good. But our D-line is that good, but our O-line is freaking terrible. How? It's not Jeff Quinn's first year. A lot of these guys have been in the program. Like, okay, so let's run through it. Kristofic is, I think, at least a redshirt sophomore. He's been in the program for 3 years. Baker's been in for 2 years. Carmody's been in for 2 years. I mean, you lose Blake Fisher as a true freshman, who you were going to start over the guys who'd been in the program for 2 years. And then you have Joe Alt, another true freshman, playing left tackle. Kane Madden is like 24 years old, playing right guard in college football. Josh Lugg is a 5th-year senior. how in the fuck can you not put this together? How can you just go out there and say, this is what we got, this is we're going to do what we do? It's ass. It's terrible. You have to do something different. At least have some damn accountability, because you're talking about player accountability and players doing these things. You have to hold your coaches accountable too.
I think Kyron Williams, I said during the game that we should just move him over to number like 75 and put him on the O-line because he's our best blocker.
He's a dog, and that's the thing. Kyron
It sucks too because he has to block all the time and he can't run the ball, and it probably pisses him off.
Yeah, he's a dog. I mean, he's getting chirped at all game by these Cincinnati guys. He's just hitting his chest saying, "Bring it right here."
Yep,
right here.
Yeah, I fucking
every
love
time
him.
He's laying them the fuck out, and he's small. He is not a big person, and he's laying them out, and he's just a dog. Like, I want a team full of Kyron Williams attitudes. Like, that's what we need. You need to go out there with some damn swagger and a chip on your shoulder and play every freaking down like it's going to be your last down, because that's how he plays. I mean, it's infuriating to lose the way we lost. It is infuriating. Cincinnati is a pussy play. You literally tried to run the clock out the whole second half.
Cincinnati plays no one the rest of the year. Their schedule is terrible. I would honestly put probably $100 on it. They lose a game this year, like before the end of the season, because they're not good. We would have lost to Purdue today. We would have lost to Florida State today. We would have lost to anybody today because we looked like shit. We lost. No one beat us but us. We have a top 10 win under our belt because we beat ourselves.
Yep. And it's just kind of like, I mean, tempered expectations for the year, but after the year started to shake out and people started to drop and teams started to lose, those expectations change.
Yep.
My expectation is to lose to teams that are better than us.
Yep.
And Cincinnati is not better.
We are better than them. But the worst part is we've proven that we're not. But we are. If we've said it the last 2 weeks, put it together. We can't put it together. We have this fucking great puzzle of a team that we cannot put together.
Yep. And I mean, you can't tell me that just simply having Blake Fisher at left tackle would make the O-line that much better. I mean, it might make them a little better, but is it going to make them so significantly better that we don't have the issues that we're having from the other four spots? I mean, oh my gosh, man. Like, it's insane to think of what this team – I mean, we could still run the table. We could definitely still run the table and be 11.
It doesn't matter now.
But it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
We're not making the playoff because, like you said, we don't play for conference championships. We are playoff or bust.
Yep.
And the committee is gonna look at they're gonna look at our conference. They're gonna look at our schedule, or non-conference for us. They're gonna look at our schedule and they're gonna say, "Oh shit, you lost to Cincinnati. You know who's making the playoff? Bama and Georgia. Georgia and Bama are going to make the playoffs. The last two spots are probably up in the air, but they're not going to take 11-1 Notre Dame, who lost to Cincinnati at home, even if we show the utmost of improvement.
We would have to come out, and Pine would have to look like a god, and we'd have to win every game by a ton, and our O-line has to block.
Our defense is elite. Our defense is crazy. They're amazing. And
I predicted we'd give up 20, and we gave up 24, right?
Yeah.
And 10 of those were on the offense. So we gave up 14. We gave up 14 defensive points. Like, that is fantastic. For an offensively skilled team like that, we gave up a touchdown and a half.
Yeah.
Sign me up for that. Let's fucking score some points.
I saw Cincinnati Barstool on Twitter trying to troll, like, the Irish Barstool accounts and just saying, like, how about that Marcus Freeman defense? And I couldn't even not. Like, I usually don't try to, like, say anything, but it's like, what the hell are you talking about, dude? The Marcus Freeman defense would have held you guys to not shit. If our offense did nothing simply other than not turn the ball over, we win the game. If they would have one time, if Tyree doesn't fumble that kick, we might win the game. Like, there is literally, I mean, that's it. And that's with all the dumb shit that happened. Playing Cone for the whole first half, not doing shit offensively, his jackass throw of a pick in the first. Like,
that's exactly what I'm saying about how I think Cincinnati's going to get beat. We played like fucking dog shit. We looked so bad, and we could have won.
Yeah.
Like, we could have somehow won this trash game. Cincinnati is not shit.
No.
Not shit. Like, not only could we beat them, if we play our A game somehow, which hasn't happened yet, we could have beat them by fucking 30.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we have an A game. So take that 30 off the table. I really don't think we have an A game.
No, we can never put it all together.
No.
That's the problem. We can never put it all together. We can never just the defense gets a stop and go get a touchdown. Like it never works out that way, it seems. And I mean, it's frustrating. I mean, looking forward, the schedule, everything's manageable. Here's the thing, Brian. If you still think Jack Cohn is the guy, you're an idiot. You are an idiot. You are a fucking moron. He's not it. Not with no O-line, and it's not his fault. I just want to be clear. It is not Jack Cohn's fault. He does not have the skill set to be successful within this offense because running RPOs when no one runs the ball or he never keeps it is stupid. Running read options
when he can't block,
when he can't keep it is stupid. Running read options, running anything with Jack Cohn when we can't block is stupid. And none of his deep balls have been really like on the last 2 weeks.
He's not a dime thrower either.
If your justification is that he makes great deep throws, he doesn't really. I mean,
no, he's missed them all year. He's been missing those.
He's missed them, and it's whatever. Like I said, it's not Cohn's fault. And I know a lot of times when I'm watching the games, I'm just like, fucking Cohn, get him the fuck out of there. But it's like, dude, he has fucking cinder block feet. Like, he just doesn't move well in the pocket. He can't run. I'm not saying that we like Pine is athletic, but Pine isn't like Ian Book. But did you see how Cincinnati had to play Pine differently? They stopped rushing the passer.
Yep.
Because they were scared he was going to break contain and take off on them. Legitimately, when they started doing it, I was like, Tyler, look, they're blitzing 3 and they're not pushing up the field. We had 5 guys blocking. And they stopped pushing up the field because they didn't want Pine out of the pocket. They didn't want him moving around.
Yep.
And here's the other thing. So there was plenty of times when they blitzed 3 or they only rushed 3 and they got to the quarterback.
They got to him.
Fuck our O-line. Fuck you.
Like, how? How is that even possible?
Just oh my gosh. I mean, kind of just dipping back real quick before we wrap this up. I just want everybody to know that you're allowed to have an opinion here and you're allowed to say it. It doesn't make you a fair weather fan or a bandwagon fan or a realist fan. You can do and say whatever you want. That's part of fandom. If you want to be critical of somebody, I mean, don't go into freaking somebody's DMs and say you're a piece of shit or threaten anybody, but you're
allowed to have an opinion.
Yes, on social media, especially.
Same thing. You're allowed to have an opinion on the kind of carpet you want in your house. You're allowed to have an opinion on what color car you want. You're allowed to have an opinion on your fucking football team. Like, it's okay.
I mean,
also at the end of I already said it once, but 100%, I'm still 100% for Kelly. I think he's an amazing coach. There's nobody I want more than Brian Kelly, and I think he lost us this game, and I think he would tell you the same. I don't know if he'd ever say it out loud because I think that would be calling out Jack Cohn or calling out an offensive line or calling out an offensive coordinator or coach. But I think his decision, because at the end of the day, that's his decision. He lost us this game, and he'll probably never say it because he doesn't want to call somebody else out because of it, but it sucks.
It's kind of similar in the sense of, do you remember when Kelly Bryant was playing at Clemson and Dabo Swinney, when they were undefeated, made the decision to go to Trevor Lawrence, his true freshman quarterback, and then they dominated the rest of the season, won the Natty. I'm not saying that that's what would have happened, but that's an example of somebody making the correct decision early enough to save you from suffering that at a loss.
Yep.
That is
a perfect example. Perfect example. You need to see it before it happens.
They were undefeated with Bryant. They were undefeated with Kelly Bryant as their starter, and he said, "Hey, man, it's just not it. You're just not it.
Yep,
you're not it. Trevor Lawrence is the guy. This is who we need to have in there." and they run the table and win the Natty.
Yep, it's great coaching. It's great decision making. It's the difference between being a coach that you'll never forget, and a coach that everyone will never forget.
Yeah, it's. Hopefully, we get it together these last couple games. I mean, I'm not cashing it in on the season. I would love to see us go 11-1, but at the same time, I want to see guys play that you're going to have here for next year. I mean, I'm not saying that like pull your fifth year seniors or seniors. I want them all to play too, but you need to start getting some guys some damn experience because I'm pretty sure we open with Ohio State next year. I think it's at Ohio State. So we also play Clemson next year. And DJ Uiagalelei is going to be a junior with now a year and change starting experience, and he's probably going to be a monster. And we have to win at least one of those games to even be considered next year. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not cashing in this year, but I'm just letting you know you have to win at Ohio State.
In my eyes, the rest of this year is development for next year. We need to see progress from next game with Pine. We don't even know if he's starting, but Lord Jesus of touchdown Jesus, please tell Brian Kelly to start Drew Pine.
I don't know how he doesn't. Like, if he is going to be that stubborn, then I do start to think that this is a knock on him. Like,
yeah, I agree. If he doesn't, then he doesn't see the writing on the wall, and he's playing favorites to a guy that transferred because he transferred, or he's just trying to be nice because it's not working.
No, he's not it with no O-line. If we had our last year's O-line with Cone, I think I would think a lot more highly of Cone, but
I don't think down of Cone. I think I'm definitely on a different, like you think. I think Cone is good, but the bottom line is it's like you just said, he's not the guy.
Yeah.
That is what it is. It's not that he's not good. He's not the guy. That's it. Right. That's all it is.
Yep. Completely agree.
Yeah, so I guess that's our show today. We're going to be doing our pregame show pretty soon, coming out later, midweek, maybe Wednesday-ish.
Yeah, we're going to try to get it out a little sooner this week if we can.
Yeah, and go check out our Facebook page, Irish Uncensored, and try to root for Notre Dame in however way you can, and hopefully we can win the rest of these games and not lose them. Instead of like the other team winning them, we just lost. But thanks for watching, everybody.
Go Irish.